Howdy Indie Warriors, it's good to be with you once again. This is Old Gamer Joe bringing you all of the upcoming indie releases for the week of October 28th through November 1st of 2024. Well, believe it or not, 2024 is starting to wind down. There are still a ton of awesome looking indie releases to add to your wishlist or maybe even throw into your gaming collection. As always, we thank you so much for supporting independent content here at the channel. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to support indie visibility, and head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames where you can gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community, early ad-free shows including this one, sponsor-free too, and of course, best of all, you'll be supporting indie visibility. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Alright, no indie sponsor this week, so let's get right into the list. Space, the final frontier, and an environment perfect for horror games. There's nothing more terrifying than being stranded in space without contact with the Earth, and that's exactly what you'll be facing in Moon Mystery on October 28th. Play as an astronaut from the first-person perspective and figure out the mystery of the haunted moon. Make sure you keep an eye on your oxygen levels as you solve puzzles and explore dangerous landscapes. You probably won't want to let your weapon out of your sight either, as it doesn't seem as though you're alone out there. Ugh, spooky. And it looks like we'll be spending a little more time in outer space this week. Entering early access on the 28th is NIMRODS, GunCraft Survivor, and it promises to bring exciting roguelike shooting to your PC. The premise is simple enough. Test out all manners of absurd weaponry, but there's a twist. Since this is a roguelike, the weapons from your past runs can back you up as drones. Explore diverse pixel art biomes and put your creativity to the test as you face off against waves of aliens. What's that smell? Smells like SULFUR is entering early access on the 28th as well. It has pungent notes of action RPG with a hint of weapon customization and undertones of rich narrative. SULFUR offers a distinctive art style that is certainly eye-catching, with tons of sewers and caverns to fight your way through. You'll have a variety of options to choose from when it comes to your gear, weapons, and spells, so you can really customize your fighting style in this one. I've gotta say, this next release smells a bit better than SULFUR, that's for sure. Go on a culinary adventure in Fruitbus. Customize your already adorable vehicle with all sorts of fun options. Gather ingredients and prepare delectable dishes as you explore an archipelago. A game about cooking, adorable animals, and gentle exploration? Sounds like a recipe for some cozy fun to me. Plus, I could use a bit more fruit in my diet. Oh, I've been backed up this week. Ugh. Give it a taste for yourself when it releases on October 28th. Card combat fans, rest assured, we almost always have at least one card-based release on our list, and this week is no exception. Bloons Card Storm is also releasing on the 28th, and you guessed it, it's a card game based in the world of Bloons. This franchise goes way back to 2007 when it was a mere web browser game of popping balloons. Fast forward to 2024, and there have been no less than 27 and counting games in the Bloons universe. That's a lot of balloons. 4 heroes, over 120 cards, and endless solo and multiplayer entertainment is floating your way, and it's even cross-platform if you're eager to play against mobile gaming fans. There's a snake in my boot. Why is that the first thing I always think of when anyone mentions cowboys? I'll continue to ponder that while you check out our next release, ColdRidge. We're going to the wild, wild, wild west, my friends, and this time it's more wild than ever. That's why I included the extra wild. This version of the West incorporates elements of magic and cursed lands for you to strategically maneuver through. Sounds like I better put on my cowboy boots for this one. Giddy up through turn-based exploration when ColdRidge releases on the 28th. Finally, for the first time outside of Japan comes a cult classic. This is Clock Tower Rewind. This 16-bit survival horror title finally gets the respect it deserves 30 years later, and will be available on PC and all major consoles. There's been plenty of games within this franchise released in North America, which makes this one not coming here until now all the more frustrating. Run for your life and hide from the dreaded Scissor Man. Clock Tower is all about staying alive with a heavy emphasis on hiding and keeping quiet. Players will be able to enjoy the original game in all of its glory, while a new rewind mode will also be available for the first time. This rewind mode restores some of the older content and adds bells and whistles like motion comics, interviews, and an epic animated intro. While it's been a long time coming, I'm so excited that we'll finally have a proper way to play Clock Tower. Hiya! Alright, I admit I always wanted to say that since I started this channel, and I'm not quite sure why it's taken me so long. Take control of a skilled martial artist in Karate Survivor, launching on the 30th and coming to us from Alawar. This roguelite survivor is heavily inspired by old-school action flicks and allows players to use their environment to take down foes in a variety of ways. Grab unique weapons, learn skills, and perform hard-hitting combos in your fight to take down the bad guys and deliver swift justice. With varied locations, boss encounters, a fun progression system, and no shortage of hard-hitting action, you'll want to punch this one directly onto your wish list. I don't give a van damn how you play, but make sure you do. Don't get egg on your face by missing this release. This is Egg Raiders, no relation to the MTV show Room Raiders, if that's even still a thing. I'm guessing that show doesn't exist anymore now that I think on it. Anyways, this is a co-op horror title where your goal is to steer clear of nasty monsters and raid loot. Strategize with your fellow teammates as you figure out the best path forward, but don't stay still for too long. That could be disastrous. The monsters are smart in this world too and will hunt you down relentlessly. Even worse, time is of the essence as you will only have 3 in-game days to succeed or fail. Escape with your life or lose everything. That will depend on your skills and determination, but we shall find out if you have what it takes when Egg Raiders launches into early access. This next release won't cost you a dime. It's the free-to-play RPG Dongwu Odyssey. You and up to 3 other friends will set out on an epic quest to claim your rightful throne. Taking place across 4 different continents, you find yourself caught up in all sorts of political drama. Ugh, just what we need in our lives, more politics. Fear not, it's the kind of political stuff that fans of this genre will eat up. It's not just about narrative either, as you'll take down over 40 different enemy types in combat, battle mighty bosses, and unlock well over 100 different items. Featuring some excellent art, cool beasts, and intense combat, Dongwu seems to have the basics covered, and like I said, it's free, so what do you have to lose by giving it a spin? Most dating sims that we come across on this channel are about trying to find love, but in I Just Want to Be Single, you're attempting to put people into the friend zone. I've been there before, and I'm betting at least a few of you have as well. Not that there's anything wrong with having more friends, right? But yes, this release is all about making friends that will hopefully be there for you when you need them the most. And no, not friends with benefits. Play as Aya on your quest to form non-romantic relationships during your senior year. Here's the challenge. Many of the people you meet are interested in being more than friends with you. Oh. Originally released back in 2011, Shadows of the Damned featured a dream lineup of industry legends including Suda51, Shinji Mikami, and Akira Yamaoka. It put players in control of Garcia Hotspur on a quest through hell and back to rescue his girlfriend from demonic forces. This was a time where bigger publishers like EA were still willing to take creative risks and try launching new franchises, but unfortunately, they weren't rewarded, as this action-adventure was a massive commercial failure. I was one of a few that owned the game on PlayStation 3, and since that time it has gained somewhat of a cult following. Now players will get the opportunity to check it out all these years later in this remastered edition. And with new 4K visuals and improved frame rates, this should hopefully be the definitive way to play. Even better news, our review is live right now, so you can find out what I personally thought of it. Gosh, I can't believe it's been 13 years. We now turn our attention to Bad Apocalypse, a survival RPG taking place in a massive open world. This is the sequel to Bad Delta and Extinction, but honestly, this is the first time I've ever heard of this series. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Ha, see what I did there with the emphasis on bad? Alright, you know the drill with this genre. There's fishing here, crafting, and plenty of items and weapons for you to collect. Take the Delta team across a variety of maps and build up an unstoppable force. Restore peace to a world that has been destroyed by a virus on the 31st. Find out if you're a bad enough dude. Never mind, that was a different game. Comment below if you know which one. I almost thought about redacting this game from the list, but I didn't. Onward to the isometric roguelike, Redacted. Taking place on the moon Callisto, you'll play as a prison guard attempting to escape from an outbreak of inmates who carry a lethal virus. Meet up with other survivors in this run-based title. Learn more and more with each death, create an awesome loadout, and escape by any means necessary. Nobody said it would be easy, and you might have to be a bit cutthroat depending on the situation, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. The game hopes to deliver an addictive gameplay loop across its great-looking sci-fi setting, but we shall see. A follow-up to Elona, another game that I am admittedly not all that familiar with, Elin is the latest survival open-world RPG to hit the indie gaming scene. There are roguelike elements here, along with your usual dosage of crafting and base building elements. As an added bonus, you can have pets, so hopefully you'll be able to pet the cat. I'm sure you will. Build an awesome house, go fishing and farm. The world is your oyster! While starting out in early access, Elin will be constantly updated and expanded upon, giving early adopters plenty of reasons to keep checking in. Hopefully it continues to improve and has enough support to reach version 1.0 in short order. It is time to enjoy the sweet sounds of nature in Albatroz, a self-proclaimed backpacking adventure RPG that sends you across gorgeous landscapes in search of a lost loved one. Emotions will run high as you explore the Albatroz mountain, which hosts many secrets along with villagers to meet. There will be a story to discover around every corner throughout your travels. Don't let the beauty distract you, however, as you'll need as many supplies as possible if you hope to survive in the great outdoors. So gathering items and managing your resources is crucial to your success. Gain new skills and learn more about yourself in this unique-looking indie that looks to put its own spin on the genre. Here is something that we don't see every day on the channel, a game that is about deciphering language. Homicipher offers up a very dark world of disturbing monsters and a bizarre language that has never been heard before. By watching characters, you'll slowly pick up on phrases and eventually be able to understand what's being said. That's the goal anyways, but it won't be easy. Gameplay works somewhat like a point-and-click title where you can click on specific items on screen in hopes of learning new words and progressing conversations. You'll have to make important choices too, some of which could be the difference between life and death. I have to admit, I find the premise of this release very interesting and want to give it a go for myself as soon as it releases on November 1st. This adorable looking release will contain monster farming, combat, and a sweet, innocent story, which is what we've come to expect from these developers. The art is looking downright gorgeous, no surprise there, and the monster combat also looks quite fun. I for one can't wait to build up an army, create a thriving farm, and continue to upgrade my monsters as I unveil more of this tale. The digital version of the game will also include some free DLC should you decide to purchase it that way. Marvelous always seems to deliver a quality product alongside Xseed, and I feel confident that Farmagia will be a wonderful gaming experience for fans of the genre. And rounding out our list is the adorable Coffee Please, which has players managing their very own coffee shop. It's a cozy looking experience that seems to be relatively stress-free, but more importantly, there are cats and it seems to be confirmed that you'll be able to pet them. As a coffee lover, it's going to be nice to get a different perspective as to what goes on behind the counter. I personally don't trust myself to pour people coffee, or cook them food for that matter, though I did once have dreams of being a chef. At least I can live out those dreams in the digital world of Coffee Please when it releases on November 1st. That's gonna do it for this episode, folks, but keep it locked to I Dream of Indie Games for more amazing indie gaming content all throughout the week. Voice to the voiceless.